Hello again, friends. It's Missy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team. And our theme for this week is all about using color. And a lot of the design team members have been creating these really gorgeous layouts with rainbow colors on them using various papers from different collections. And so I thought I would jump on the bandwagon and create a rainbow type of layout. And I went through all the collections that I have from Cocoa Vanilla and I picked out several colors that I like together. And I'm going to scrap this pool picture of my oldest daughter from a few years ago. I love how the water matches that really pretty watercolor blue in that Wild at Heart paper. And so I think I've got 3 different collections here. This pink paper is from Make-A-Wish, and I'm going to zoom through this part because I totally changed my idea, but I'm using some papers that I've already used for other projects, and my first thought was just to create some strips, kind of a rainbow array of different color strips. But once I get all the strips cut, it just is kind of plain, and I couldn't really make it work. That sun rays paper is from Hello Sunshine. Hello Sunshine. I was gonna say Good Day Sunshine, but that's not it. And then the orange is from You Rock. So I definitely went through several collections to find what I liked together. I did not have any green papers, so I do not have a green strip in this, and that's okay because I like how it turned out. So I turned off my camera and thought for a little bit on what else I could do besides just boring strips. Well, let me rephrase that. Strips are not boring, but for what I just had there, it looks kind of boring to me. And so I thought, I really don't know where to go with this. So I thought, I'm going to make some banners. I don't even know where that idea came from, but it just popped into my head. I think I was looking at my punches and I thought, hey, I haven't used my triangle punch in a while. So what I did was I went through all the papers that I picked and I punched out several triangles from each color, and I'm going to sort of create a rainbow of banners. And I think it turns out really cute, and this is a fun thing that you could do if you have a triangle punch, and you could also certainly do this with circles and do circle banners, and you can also cut these on your die cutting machine also. So I've got 5 different colors here, and now I'm just going to sort of play around and start to see how many of these triangles I want to use, and I wind up using 5 of each color, and I'm liking how this is looking. I'm going to use white cardstock as my background since I've got all these rainbow colors going on. And so what I'm going to do is take some cord from my stash and just glue all of these little pieces together to make an actual banner. And I'm going to do this with all of the colors, and then I'm going to string them across the page. And you know, I thought about just stitching them onto the background first, but then I decided, no, I kind of want to do something different. So I just got out the cord and decided to kind of make them very dimensional. And I think in the end they wind up being very, very dimensional, and they look really cool. And I'm using Scotch tacky glue in my fine liner bottle there. It dries rather quickly, and so this didn't take too long for me to have to wait for all of these to dry. So I've got them all done, and I think they look super cute. And they, you know, I can kind of manipulate them and bend them. They don't have to be perfectly straight because, you know, banners bend and twist in the wind, and so I can kind of make them look like different levels. So I'm going to fold over the tops. I left a little bit of space when I glued them down, and so what this is going to do is it's going to raise them up off the page a little bit, because the part that I'm flipping over is not going to lay straight or lay flat, and so it's going to kind of act as a little kickstand, and it's going to raise them up off the page. And I don't even have to add foam or any adhesive, dimensional adhesive under them to make them rise up off the page. And so I'm going to jazz up my background here with some shimmers, and these are different types of shimmers. I've got a creamies, I've got an original shimmers paint, and then I've got some sprays. And I'm mainly just going for matching the colors. And I'm trying to put colors where the banner of that same color is not going to be. So I know that the yellow is going to be further down the page, and that my photo is going to go right on top of that yellow paint. And that's going to contrast because the photo has a lot of blue in it. So I didn't want the yellow paint to be underneath the yellow banner, is what I'm trying to say. So that's a light blue shimmers paint there. It's called Winter's Mist, I think. It's a very soft icy blue, and I'm going to mix it with some Jenny B blue, and it's going to wind up being the perfect matching blue shade. And that's a little bit of aqua mixed in. It's fun to mix and match the colors, and you can almost always find the perfect color that you're going for if you just do a little bit of mixing and matching. And I didn't do any gesso work or anything to this background paper, mainly because I knew I was just going to kind of do this in a hurry and add some color. I wasn't going to do any smudging as far as, you know, gelatos or blending. And so I didn't feel like I needed anything to really help me along to do that. I knew it was just going to be a couple of splotches of color and some splatters, and then all those banners are going to cover up a lot of this, and so I felt that the background was safe without it. So now I'm going to come back in and just try to see where I want the banners. Do I want them straight? Do I want them kind of crooked? And I like how they look kind of crooked, but I play around with it a lot. I put them on, I take them off, see what else I need to add, because I want you to be able to see the color from the paint. And if it's too covered up, then I need to add more. And I just keep working at it. I just keep adding splatters, adding it here and there wherever I need it to where it's visible underneath and around the photo and the banners. My poor napkin. I use my napkins until they are pretty much completely shot, as you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to come back in, lay it all back down very carefully, because of course it's still kind of wet. Now that it's dry, I thought I would take my background a step further and add some texture. And I'm glad I did this because it just adds a little something extra. This is just an old stencil that I think I got at Michael's. It's been a while. It's pretty stained. I've used it a lot. And then some modeling paste, which I'm almost out of. I need to get another tub. This is getting kind of hard because I've had it for a while. But I'm just trying to add some texture to the background. It's not really going to take away from the banners. It's just going to add a little something extra. And I like how that looks, and it works because it's white, and it still keeps everything nice and light and airy, but it just adds a fun texture. And so on some of the spots where the circles didn't fully form from the texture paste, I just kind of smudged them down. And some of them are great, and some of them are like half circles, and some of them are just little moons, but that's okay. So I'm going to go back over some of these with more of the paint, and I wound up using more paint than I thought I was going to, but still, the fact that I didn't add gesso, it really didn't make a difference on this one. It worked out okay. And using white modeling paste to a stencil like this on a white background is fun because it's still subtle, except, you know, it adds a lot of texture and just interest to the background without being too busy, because it's white on white. And then, you know, if you add it on top of color like I just did here, it kind of blends in and it just adds a little something extra to the background. So I've got everything, I think, where I want it at this point. And so now I'm going to start to work on everything else. I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper behind my picture there. I didn't want to add anything else behind it as far as another paper layer, because I wanted that yellow to really make the blue pop. So I pulled out embellishments. These are the ephemera die cut packs from Hello Sunshine. And then I'm also going to pull out the Make-A-Wish ephemera pack. It's really fun to go through things that are completely opposite types of themes and it's amazing how they work together. You know, one of these is a summer line and one of them is a birthday line, and yet the colors really work together. Now I'm going to very carefully start to glue down bits and pieces of the banners. And I arranged my photo up in the upper right corner because she's looking down and toward the left, and so it looks like she's looking down at all those banners, and I love that effect on the eye when you place your photo in a certain spot. And that's not, you know, a specific scrapbooking rule by any means. It's just something that I like to do. It kind of makes me think that whoever's in the picture is looking at everything on the page, and that's why she's smiling, because she likes the banners, right? Yes, I'm crazy. Cuckoo. That's okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking coordinating stickers and chipboard pieces and just kind of adding it to the banners, and it's I'm trying to do tone on tone here and match up the colors. And I've got three chipboard pieces, a die cut, and a sticker. And luckily I had something that matched all 5 of those colors. And so I just kind of wanted it to blend in, but just, you know, just tiny little, not necessarily subtitles, but just little phrases or words throughout the page. And I'm going to add a little bit of work around the photo. I'm going to use some die cuts from Hello Sunshine. I've got the flower and then that cute little sun above. And I'm going to try to create a little cluster here. This is a little circle that says Happy Days. And I feel like it's okay to overlap that part of the picture because I do have some open space right there. And so it's not covering up her or anything important in the photo. I try to think about these things whenever I'm taking pictures because I'm a crazy scrapbooker, right? And we tend to do things in our minds that will work really well when we go to scrapbook that particular picture. And so sometimes if I'm able to, if they're still long enough and my luck is just right, I will try to make it to where I have room on the picture. Sometimes the photo's centered, and that's okay. Just depends on the moment and what's going on. I tucked in a vellum heart that's kind of a pink ombre over there on the left, and then these are the alpha stickers from Make-A-Wish. And I just went simple and short with the title. I'm going to put Love This because I didn't want to overlap any of the banners with a big title, and I didn't want to, you know, just take away from anything. And so I just went short and simple. And I added the puffy sticker that says Sunshine right on top of the photo there, and that is from Hello Sunshine. And then these are some little phrase and word stickers from Make-A-Wish. They're different colors, and most of the stickers like that from the collections, the type is black, but these were different color and they matched perfectly. So just added a couple of those just for something different. And yeah, what's missing from this layout? It wouldn't be a typical crazy Missy layout without some thread. So I'm adding in some pink thread over there to the left, kind of blends in with that heart. And then I'm going to add a little bit of aqua over to the right of the picture since there's a lot of yellow over there. And then I added some yellow underneath So Much Fun, just for a pop of yellow down there at the bottom. And I do add some journaling, just a little bit. My pen did not want to write on top of that modeling paste, so I had some trouble with my pen, but that's okay. You can still read it in the end. And then I'm going to add the date stamp, and I believe that's going to wrap it up. Yep. I didn't do any machine stitching on this. I just didn't feel like it needed it at this point. And I love how this turned out. I love the colors. It was really fun to mix and match and sort of create a rainbow effect with different papers from 3 different collections. And yeah, you never know how things are going to coordinate until you just pull it all out and look at it and see what you can come up with. It was a lot of fun. I love the results, and I love the banners. It's a fun, easy way to create something that will take up a lot of space on your page, and it's just fun and festive, and you could do this with any type of theme, really. It doesn't have to be a celebration or a birthday. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Hope you have a great week.